I need somebody to catch this. When the Spirit of Jesus came back to the dead corpse, the Bible says then the condemnation of why he came into fruition, and now anything that was going to prevent him from being seen in that state had to move. I come to tell somebody in here, when your spirit hooks up with your natural man, everything in your way, you better tell him, move, get out the way, because now I'm in place where God had designed for me to be. You thought I was doing something when I healed the blind man, but watch this. I'm going to move a stone with soldiers standing on the outside.
Yes. All right.
The stone was rolled away.
Thank you, Lord.
Come on, help us.
And you'll see next week, because they had to see him in the state that he left. Is this good news for somebody? Amen. I'm going to leave you alone. The reason why God has to hook your spiritual man up with your natural man is because natural man won't believe what God just did.
Come on.
All right.
Why couldn't he come to them in the form of a dove? Why couldn't he show back up as a voice in the garden?
Come on.
As the same way he talked to Adam and Eve. Why couldn't he show up as a burning bush?
All right.
Simply because he says, I need you to take that body, because that's the only body that's going to be good to redeem the sin. Can you get this? Don't nobody else have a body like Jesus.
Right.
Because Jesus' body was the only one that went on the cross and crucified and actually completed the sin, so that now he says, now I got to take this body and show it to you. I want to tell somebody in here, you may get ready, because God about to put you on display. He's about to take the things that they said wasn't going to work. He's about to take the things they told you was dead and buried, and he's going to resurrect that thing and put it in front of folk that said you shouldn't be here. I need somebody to get in your spirit right now that God ain't gonna let you stay like this. I need you to know that you're coming out right now, and you may look like what you did when you went in, but they don't know that you done changed up. Is there anybody remember the story of Clark Kent? Clark Kent was nothing until he went and changed his clothes. Is there anybody in there know that I may go in like Clark Kent, but I'm coming out with a it's on my chest. I'm about to leave you. I'm about to leave you quickly. But here it is. That Jesus is missing.
Come on.
All right.
The Bible says that Mary and the other Mary.
Come on.
Somebody said the other Mary. Mary left the tomb running to tell Simon Peter.
All right.
Why is it that Simon Peter was the first one to know out of the leftover disciples?
Come on.
Even though Simon Peter was the one that denied him 3 times. But here is that they go to tell Simon Peter.
All right.
We went to the tomb where Jesus was laid. And he wasn't there, but the body is gone. Well, we don't know where they've laid it.
All right.
It's something about that you're supposed to have a relationship with Jesus. But yet still, you believe in the hocus pocus. I come to tell somebody, if you're going to be spiritual, be spiritual. If you're going to be carnal, be carnal. But the Bible says you can't be both, because he said that's called lukewarm. And I spew you out of my mouth. Here it is that she didn't come back saying he's risen, but she came back saying he's stolen. Is there anybody in here that knows that they didn't steal my Jesus, but that he got up with all power in his hands? I'm getting ready to leave you right now. I've held you too long, but don't hold it against me. But I came to tell you that God didn't mean for me to stay like this. He said that if I stay in his word, that he'll give me power to tread on serpents' head. I came to tell you that you got power to tread on serpents' heads, even when your neighbor won't go with Philadelphia, you got power to turn that thing around. As I leave you this morning, I leave by saying that nothing is going to work until you say, I'm coming out. I'm coming out of this. Is there anybody here that knows that you weren't meant to stay in the tomb, that you were meant to come out, even though you still got the old body, but you got a new spirit? Is there anybody here that hop on your neighbor and say, neighbor, I got a new attitude because the Lord, He changed my life. I got a new attitude because you don't know my story. You don't know how I've been through. You don't know how I cried till I cried myself to sleep. You don't know how I walked the floor till I walked the soles of my shoes right on out of my feet. You don't know how they talked about me. Is there anybody here that say you don't know my story? Well, you don't know my story, so you will never understand my praise. And the reason why I'm shouting is because folks showed up at the last place they thought I was going to be, only to find out that God has did something in my life. Is there anybody here that says, I came to tell the devil, I told the devil, you thought you had me, but God saved me. Say yeah, say yes, say yeah, yes. Somebody here, you know the Lord is able to do it. How about your neighbor? And say, neighbor, I'm coming out with my hands up because God did it. He did it for me. I was lost in my sin, and He did it for me. Is there anybody here that's selling poverty? I'm coming out. Is there anybody here that's selling joblessness? I'm coming out. Is there anybody here that'll tell your neighbor, neighbor, you don't know like I know what the Lord has done for me? Is there anybody here that the Lord did it for you? Is there anybody here that He made a way? Is there anybody here who turned your midnight into day? Just shake somebody's hand and say, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. No, the Lord will make a way somehow. I've been down, but He made a way. I've been down, but He made a way. I've been talked about, but He made a way. So now, I know the Lord. I know the Lord. I know the Lord. I know the Lord. He will. He will. Do you know He will? Do you know He will? Do you know He will? Y'all sit there, but I praise Him. If I got to praise Him all by myself, I don't need a singer. I don't need nobody, but as long as I got Jesus, 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 my little lady, Jesus, my bright morning star, Jesus. Anybody know Jesus? Say yeah.